Hi, welcome to the Craft House by April. Today we're going to be starting a new series on this channel, and it is going to be the Bob Ross Joy of Painting. And I'm going to open this up with you guys. It's brand new. I've had it for a couple months and I've been dying to start these videos with you. And my nephew is here on spring break today, so he's going to be doing his own as well. But I'm going to go ahead and get started and show you everything that is in this kit. Here we go, guys. Oh, and I'm wearing my Bob Ross shirt today. Okay, in this kit, there is four different paintings. I believe it was four different paintings. This might just be one painting, so we'll find out when we get into the DVD. I assumed all four of those are on there, but this one, the Mountain Summit, it even comes with a step-by-step instruction manual of paintings, each stage of the painting, which will be a great reference. So that makes me wonder if there's more than one painting on that DVD, but there's always YouTube as well. It comes with his 2-inch brush and a 1-inch brush. So we got these two brushes, a painting knife. Okay, we have a painting knife. I believe that is a 10. I don't know what inch that is. It looks like about an inch though. Inch and a half, two, I don't know, inch and a half. Bob Ross fan blender, number 6. Liquid white oil paint. And then 8 colors. We have crimson, bright red, yellow, cadmium yellow, Alizarin, I don't know, crimson, Sap Green, phthalo blue. If I hadn't have watched him, I wouldn't have known how to pronounce that one. Dyke Brown, midnight black, and titanium white. Okay, let's pop in this DVD and see what it has on there and choose the painting that we want to get started with today. Okay guys, let's get started. I have my canvas up here. It is a 16 by 20 inch, I do believe. I will double check, but I will put a link in the description if you need to order your own, as well as a full list of the tools I am using today. And that's included in the Bob Ross painting kit. And then I have my TV set up with instructions to help me get through this painting. So let's see. All right. Okay, so the painting we're going to be doing today is Bob Ross's Mountain Summit. And we can refer back to this as well as my DVD here. And to get started, we need to get our liquid white on there. This is the first time I've ever used oil paints. I'm an acrylic girl, so this is new brushes, new style, new. I don't usually even work on canvas, so this is all very beginner, first time ever right here. And what better way to do that than with Bob Ross? Okay. He says a lot goes a long way with this stuff. I know what he says because I'm a devoted Bob Ross fan. And on Saturday mornings after, oh God, what was that show called? It was a carpenter show my dad would watch, This Old House. And then Bob Ross would come on. And that was my Saturday morning cartoons. Okay. So I'm going to use my 2-inch brush. It's called a background brush. And I just put a little bit in because I didn't want to waste it. But I'm going to go ahead and get this coated. He said you don't need a lot, but you do need to distribute it evenly. And the brushes, the bristles are falling out a little bit. If I can find another Bob Ross paint kit, I will put the link in the description so you can get your own. But this one cost me almost $130. And I used it as a business investment. But because I went to the craft store and tried to get all the supplies, and I was just having a difficult time doing that. And I wanted to do this the right way. I wanted to do this Bob Ross's way. But I did find another one for $500. But if I find one that is around, well, I don't care how much it is. I'll just post it in. If you want to spend the money on it, that's your call. Or you can just go to the paint store, the craft store, and get what you need. There's bristles all over this. It's hard to see. I'm not really that worried about it either, because I know that once we get the color on there, you're not really even going to see them. But if I was a beginner painter, a real beginner painter, then I would probably be frustrated right now. But you just got to let the little things go. Okay, I'm hoping this is it. I'm very frugal with my supplies, especially when they cost $100. But I'm like that even with my 50-cent acrylic paints. Okay. I'm just trying to get the big bristles out. Those are the ones I'm concerned with. All right. So I have the base coat on. I am going to see how I'm supposed to wash this brush out, and I will be back to get started on the next step. So luckily, as a crafter and painter, I already had some mineral spirits, and I got the low odor. It's not odorless, but it's going to do. And so this is going to help today. Actually, I wouldn't be able to even do this if I didn't have that today. So you're going to need some of that too. Okay, so this is still wet, thank goodness. And he's going to start with the blue. Okay, I'm just going to put all the colors on here. I'm nervous. I think I hold it like this. I want to be super frugal with my colors here. All right, I'm going to lay them all out on my, what's this called, Draven? I can't remember. My palette of colors. But what is this called? palette? What is this called?
Palette.
Something that you put your paint on. Okay, so I now have all my colors I'm going to be using. And he's going to start by getting into the blue. I'm really nervous here, guys. I don't want to hold this. So, I'm going to pause that. I'm going to start by doing my crisscross strokes at the top. And there's hairs coming off the brush.
Should have cleaned the brush. You should have cleaned the brush before you started.
I did.
Or like beat it up against, you know, the side of...
I did! I did do that. Okay.
Right at the top, all the way across. Just making little X's.
Okay.
And then keep working downward.
Oh, it should get lighter as I go down.
Color is mixing with the liquid light continually, automatically.
Okay. I'll add some white in.
It will get lighter and lighter.
His is getting lighter.
And that's one of those little tricks that help
It'll get lighter because less paint on the brush.
Yes. But I needed to get a little lighter up top a little more. It's pretty dark.
Well, that looks about right.
I'm trying to use up some of this paint on the bottom and then lighten it up more up here.
Let's have a little touch of water in this painting today. So, now once again, we want it to be lighter toward the horizon. So start at the bottom and work upward.
Okay.
So your darker color will be down here on the base. See that? And just work upward and automatically, once again, it'll get lighter and lighter as it works upward toward the horizon.
Tag on brush. Okay, because I'm going to add a little white. Sorry, Bob, I got to lighten this up a little bit right here. I didn't do a very good job when I first started, I don't think. But I'm sure it'll be alright. Okay, this is going to drive me nuts. Hope it doesn't ruin my painting. Okay. I'm pausing it. I'm not there yet, Bob. Okay. I am now going to lightly... Okay, and I hope I have done that justice. So that is step 1, guys. He has a lot more white in the middle area. So I'm going to lighten mine up too. Because I want mine to look like Bob's. Although I will embrace my own. Okay. Okay, what's next?
And one of the easiest ways to make little clouds is just take the corner of the brush.
Okay, I'm going to wash this one out. Okay, and then I'm going to beat the devil out of it. I think I did okay. All right, and then I'm going to go into my 1 inch. I thought he said, but that brush looks pretty big.
Just tap the canvas with it. Just tap the canvas.
Is this the right one?
Lives up here in the sky. Just having a good time.
Alright, let's have a good time with the white and the clouds. I'm going to rewind that back.
That's still just a happy little cloud. And one of the easiest ways to make little clouds is just take the corner of the brush and just tap the canvas with it. Just tap the canvas. We just want a little color that's up here in the sky.
Alright, I'm going to need some more white. Should I let that dry first? Because it seems to be blending it right on in. Look,
That's the point.
I know, but it's a little much.
Just tap. If you want your cloud, make your sky. And when you're using only white paint, then that sun will jump out at you. If you have a sky that's not very bright,
Alright, let's try it again.
then you don't have
Which direction is he going here?
to look too bright.
He's going this way.
There.
Just happy with it.
Up a little, just mix them a little bit.
Oh my gosh, it's blending right in.
This is
Tap it.
the way I
Tap it.
Instead of
just sort of
How do you-
flip it up.
That's tapping it.
There.
Oh, guys, I hope I'm not failing you here.
So really pretty.
But I'm not feeling very confident about this.
Just blend it together. And that's one of the nicest, easiest little ways to make a cloud.
Just a little. Sorry, I'm making fun of you, Bob. I really do like you. I just,
Let's build a smooth tone.
when I get angry and not frustrated, I will take it out on you.
Sometimes they say, I'm tired now, let's do something different. Maybe I'll get probably any letters that say, do warm mountains. So, if you
Man,
don't
seriously?
fine.
warm mountain, then you have it.
Well,
fine, just
I
go
found
with
out what this is good for. Getting the bristles off the brush, or bristles off the
Crimson.
canvas. Okay, he is going way too fast. Okay, I'm gonna finish up on my, get my clouds up here somehow. You're going to be paused, Bob.
Just very, very crazy.
Okay, guys, back into the white. How bad is that looking? Draven, how bad does this look?
Your respect. Oh, over here I see what you mean. Looks super wet foot from over where the light is. It looks dry.
Looks dry?
Over with the light.
Okay,
Over here it's shiny.
whatever.
Use a 2-inch brush.
Did it say 2-inch?
Yeah.
It don't matter what size brush I'm using. This ain't going to change the way this is affecting this canvas. I'm just going to
Clean,
keep
dry
going.
2-inch brush.
What'd he say?
Use circular strokes with titanium white on the 2-inch brush to shape the clouds.
Oh, I can see what it looks like. Mine does not look like that. Okay, 2-inch brush. Doesn't make a
Circular
difference. Huh?
Circular strokes. Click small circles.
Okay. I'm gonna run out of my white paint just doing these clouds.
That's fine.
Please, anybody out there that does this, that can tell me what I'm doing wrong, I'm going to be doing more of these. So I definitely want to continue to do these the right way.
2-inch brushes for the background,
Yeah, I got the background.
and then the
He
1-inch brush.
Yeah, he said 1 inch. That's what I've been using.
He did.
Yeah, he said 1 inch. You're lost. I'm lost.
Let me follow. You'll see him use a few colors that are not in this master paint set.
Oh, good.
But don't worry, you won't need them.
Oh, good. No big deal then, huh?
No, no big deal. Simply follow along using this color instruction sheet.
To what?
Follow along using this instruction sheet.
I should have did this
Yeah.
when I was already painting it. Alright, so he then wants me to blend it out like this.
With the dry brush. Yep. Just slight strokes. And then lift upwards on the clouds
And then
to fluff it.
fluff them up. Okay. Fluff, fluff, fluff. This is way harder than I thought it was going to be.
Well, this
You
is
know
Bob-
what? I'm
amateur
going...
painter versus Bob Ross.
I'm going to leave my clouds and see if they'll still look good once I add everything else. Okay, so this has not been as peaceful as I thought it might be. So let's just keep going and see where we get. What's next, Bob?
Canvas. Caress the canvas. Just blend it together. And that's one of the nicest, easiest little ways to make a cloud.
Maybe it's because my brush isn't as dry as his, but I
Tell you what,
try to beat that devil good.
you know, it's funny, I get a lot of letters from people, and sometimes they say,
Okay,
Bob, I'm tired of mountains, do something different.
is he getting in this?
Probably as many others who say, do more mountains. So, if you don't want a mountain in your painting, just leave that little rascal out. But if you want a mountain, then
I want the mountain.
Ken will take some Prussian blue, Alizarin Crimson, and mix it together.
Black, blue,
Cut across. We have our little roll of paint out here on the edge of the
crimson.
Now just decide where your mountain lives in your world. And push it very firmly. And just drop that little rascal in. The only thing you're worried about is a nice outside edge. You don't care what's happening on the. Now just decide where your mountain lives in your world. And push it very firmly.
Okay, he goes up. I guess my mountain's gonna live right around here. Do I have the paint on the wrong side? Okay, I got my roll. This girl is probably gonna stick to acrylics.
Just drop that little rascal in. The only thing you're worried about is a nice outside edge. You don't care what's happening on the inside right now. You will later, but right now, we're just looking for a nice outside edge. As I say, use a lot of pressure here. Push that paint right into the back. Now, scrape off.
Is he like letting this dry in between or something?
No, because he's doing a wire.
There we go.
Ah, there you go. Yeah.
But I want you to
Okay, I'm gonna pause. Wait. Okay. My techniques will probably be different, but as long as the outcome somewhat looks okay, I'm gonna go back over this again. I don't get it, guys. Alright, I've created something. His mountain's a little perkier. Look at me. I should have just left alone. Okay. I just can't stop. Okay. Alright, Bob, what's next?
With a large brush. And it'll mix with the liquid white that's on the canvas, and automatically it'll get lighter and lighter down toward the base. Just softer and softer. There we go. And that sun begins to look like it's just floating right up here in the sky. And that gives you a nice base now to begin putting highlights on. Let me clean the old brush again. I like to wash these brushes. Shake it up. There we go. Now then, today I'm just going to use, let's just take titanium white, pull it out very flat. It's just plain old white. Now this is one of those times you really need a firm paint. This paint should be very firm. And people say, how firm is it? Look at that. The knife literally sticks right on the palette. It's very firm. Cut off. Now this, it's up here in the sky. Crop,
Jeez, come on.
make snow.
Alright, I'm excited to put the snow
I
on.
like to wash these brushes.
The mountain didn't turn out completely horrible, but
I love putting snow on.
we'll see. I'll probably hate it. Look, there's bristles in here. Several. And I'm just leaving them because I don't want to screw this up. Okay. It's definitely different than his, but I'm getting there. Okay, it looks like he cleans this thing off. And I need to get back into some white.
There we go. Now then, today I'm just going to use, let's just take titanium white, pull it out very flat. It's just plain old white. Now this is one of those times you really need a firm paint. This paint should be very firm. You know, people say, how firm is it? Look at that. The knife literally sticks right on the palette. It's very firm.
Very
Now,
firm.
put a little paint, like so. Now then, no pressure. No pressure. There. See that?
Okay, no pressure. How did he have his arm? Okay, so he's taking it this way.
There.
Okay, guys. No pressure. No pressure. Okay, so I see why he says no pressure. Oops.
See there? Just touch and just let it flow right down the side of the mountain
Okay.
with no pressure. You want it to break like this and have all those little holes and bumps in. There we go. And up here. See there? It's so easy at times, it's hard. There we go. No pressure though.
maybe by the end of all my paintings,
Just floated across the mountain.
I'll be more of a professional.
It makes some of the most beautiful mountains today you ever see. Here's a little blue and orange here, a little roll of paint. And I want to put a shadow behind it. No pressure. Just let it float. See? Just let that float right in there. And each highlight, each little peak in here, if you want it to be an individual, needs a shadow. There.
Okay, so he's definitely further along than I am. Okay, so I'm not completely disappointed in this. I'm just gonna give it my own touch here, but I don't hate it. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna touch this part up. I guess I'll do that in front of you. But it needs a little TLC. There, much better. Okay, so I'm going to rewind this and get the blue, and then I'll be back. I need more white. I'm gonna mix some of the phthalo blue, I think that's what it's called, with my titanium white. And I still think it's almost too dark. I feel like I used way too much blue. Okay, whatever. I'm gonna go with it. This definitely does not seem to be the right color, blue, but this was the best I could come up with without using all my white. Sorry, I have an attitude, Bob. I wish I didn't feel so frustrated. But it is my very first time using any of these tools, so I shouldn't be too hard on myself, but as a crafter, you feel like you can do anything sometimes, you know, or maybe this is to put me in my place. Or maybe by the end of it, my self-esteem will be better. I don't know. Okay, so what do you think about the blue, Draven?
In person it looks bad. On camera it looks great.
Okay.
So,
Well, great.
not
Perfect.
amazing, but
Just let it float right in there. And each highlight, each little peak in here, if you want it to be an individual, needs a shadow. There, right there. Give it a little shadow.
Giving this a little shadow.
And you can change this mountain continually. Maybe you want to put a bump over here, another peak.
I do. That sounds like a fantastic idea.
In your world,
It's my world.
illusion that you want.
Well, then I'm going to have to clean my brush off again.
That's what attracted me to painting so much. I can create any kind of world that I want. Nothing hurts here. No pain.
Well, that hand towel is ruined.
It's a pleasant place.
I need to get back in some whites. Okay, Bob, I'm
Nice here.
going to pause you right there. And I like to mention, so I'm going to add another peak right here. I hope I did that right. Doesn't seem great, but They're mountains. They're not supposed to be perfect. That's what I tell people when I do my trees, you know?
Bob Ross is a very specific art style, so.
Too blue.
Yeah.
I know. And I don't even like blue. I don't decorate with blue at all. I don't even wear blue. The only time I use blue is for my son's football team, and their schools are blue. But I'm going to get some more white. I didn't want to have to do this, but I feel like my painting is suffering because of it. So I'm going to lighten this up a little bit. I don't know if I'm just going to make this worse or better, but it's my world, it's my painting, he said. So here we go, Bob. I think it's fine. We're fine. Let's move on.
Okay, now for the large brush, I want to create the illusion of this. So all I'm going to do here is just tap this. And just tap all the angles in the mountain. That's what happened.
Don't get too excited.
It's better.
It's probably gonna be rough.
Just make it so it looks like it lasts. It adds a little more interest to your mountain.
He kind of,
Bring it together. Okay. That's all there is to it. Let's have some fun. I'm going to mix up.
oh good, it's time for the fun. Alright, I'm leaving it. I just don't know what to do.
Little mix up. Black. Prussian blue. Shoot, we'll throw some Van Dyke, some crimson in there. Little sap green.
Black, blue, brown, crimson,
Just
green.
mainly dark colors. There, let me clean the knife off. Now let's use our old fat brush today. Let's go in here and load some color right onto the brush.
This is
Just a little bullseye of the brush.
the marsh.
Now then, let's have some fun. Let's just push in. Maybe there's a little background thing.
Alright, let's try this. Am I on?
Yeah.
He mixed in some brown, green, crimson, black, and blue.
Hold the brush horizontally and force the bristles upward.
Just push it, make it twist, and up and down.
And you just
Just be happy. Enjoy.
Be happy, enjoy.
There.
you're doing just fine.
Reflections under this. So I just grab the bottom of it.
Actually, don't look that bad.
Because the canvas is wet. You can do this and get away with it. If you had a dry canvas, you'd be in Agony City. Then go gently across. Just like so. See? And instant reflections. That easy. Maybe in our world, back here, maybe there's a happy little tree that lives right here.
And
Little
put it down
evergreen
just a
tree.
little more.
Just touch it. And then use just the corner of the brush and go back and forth. Back and forth.
Okay, here goes my first tree, guys. How does he do it?
This is that.
Like this.
You got it.
Say what? Look at that. I have a tree, guys. Well, it's not the cutest tree, but we're going to work on that.
Could be darker.
Okay, fine. I'll make it darker. It's hard because the colors keep blending and mixing together.
Yeah, that's...
Shush. Okay. I don't know how he gets it. I think, yeah, it definitely does not look like his tree, but whatever.
And we got a little tree. Maybe he's got a friend here that's a little bigger.
Okay, he needs a new friend.
There. Sure he needs a friend.
Alright, let's pause that because I need to mix some more color.
Great.
What? What?
You're gonna have to add some highlight areas with the yellow.
This, I feel like I just keep making it worse and worse and worse and worse.
It's close. This is fine.
Okay. They don't look like his.
So weird. I name all these little trees and talk to them.
I don't think I want a bigger one. I like this part of my mountain.
That's fine. And don't. It's your painting.
Okay, I'll put a small one right here.
Maybe they ran him off. We can go live out here by himself. All kinds of things. We go paintbrush outside when I'm going, so I don't have to continue to clean them.
My trees are just different. They look like Christmas trees.
And go
It's
into
more than
some
evergreen.
yellow.
It's pine tree.
And that'll turn beautiful green color because there's blue in there. There. Okay, let's go up here.
I don't get it, Bob.
Here and there. Some little grassy areas far, far away back here. Just a few. It's too far away. It's got a lot of detail. You can grab that and that upper. And you look like really distant trees.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
let's
just
do
fine.
that.
Actually, the last tree you just did looks the best.
I like that one too. Though I
You
know
can see
they're
the branches and stuff.
I know they're gonna get better the more I do them, but they're not easy, guys.
They're perfect.
Thank you.
You
Okay.
don't need to add too many trees.
Huh?
You don't need to add too many trees.
You mean? Yeah, I think that's it. I'm
It's
just
fine. You can add them.
I'm just adding these, like he said,
Yeah.
to make it look like there's. But I feel like I did too many already.
No, you're not fine.
Okay.
Looks about like the picture.
All right. Next.
Highlight areas.
Oh yeah, he's got some of that.
Yellow.
Is that what he did?
What?
Well, he's already in it.
Yeah, that's the yellow.
Did he?
Probably.
Oh, okay, green and yellow. I'm gonna go into the yellow. And to be honest, this has been highly stressful. Yep, not too happy yet. Gosh, that's hard to get into. God only knows how old this kid is, though.
Okay, let's go up here. Now then, I just want to put the indication here and there. Some little grassy areas far, far away back here. Just a few. Too far away, it's got a lot of detail. You can grab that upper. You look like little distant trees. Just paint blues on there.
Yeah, okay.
There we go. All kinds of little yellow over here too. What the heck? Maybe we'll have some nice fall looking colors in this painting. With all the shiny colors, the liquid white. Pull it out flat. And then just cut across. Okay. Now then with that, we can just come right up in here. And we'll just cut it half a little water.
Liquid white. Okay. All right, I'm gonna get to the liquid white.
Back and forth.
Okay, apparently I'm going to be adding some water lines now into my liquid white. So let's see how that goes. Well, that's better than I expected. Oops, it's dripping. Okay, I might have to fix that. It's kind of, well, it's really liquidy, so it's dripping.
Maybe there's a little bit of foothills out here. And one out here. Wherever you want. Now then, tell you what, I like doing those trees. Let's do another one. Back into my dark color with a fine brush. Love a lot of color.
Okay, I don't know if I did that good or not,
And our world. Bigger evergreen here.
but
Big, strong sun.
we're gonna go back over
Just let the bristles get them down with.
to make
Now using the same corner brush.
this tree. Let's see how far down it goes.
Tree. Just pushing harder and harder. So it uses more and more brush.
Okay, let's try it.
There. Love a lot of color. Let's go up here. Maybe we lives in our world. Bigger evergreen here.
Okay, so I'm going back into my dark colors that are starting to dry up. It's all starting to dry up. Okay, right here. Okay. All right, well, mine might not be as bushy, but I'm still making trees.
Big, strong sun. Use a corner of the brush. Just make the
Oh,
bristles
his
get
looks
them
so
down with.
good.
And I'm using the same corner of the brush all the way through the tree. Just pushing harder and harder. So it uses more and more of the brush. There. Next one, rascal, stay right there with that brush. Or you can do it with a 1 or 2 inch brush. Tell you what. Have a
Can't
better
figure this part out here.
There we go. Now, flip it over here and find me a 1 inch brush. Go right through the same color. Okay, let's put a happy little bush right here. Sort of have to begin making some decisions here. Where do you want to leave those bags still bit of?
I think I'm gonna need some more colors.
That's super. Now then, underneath here, you're going to want some reflections. So just reverse the brush. Now you're pushing upward and pushing upward. Where you have tall lines, you want lines that are long below it. Where they're short, then make these not so long. You do that. Okay. And those will turn into hopefully some very nice little reflections. Just a nice quick dry brush. I just like to use the brush. Pull straight down, very lightly. So I have to do is touch, pull down, and then go across. Okay. Now then, I'll take my knife, a little bit of dark cyan, a little white into it. Get a very small roll of paper knife. Okay, now then, let's go up here. Just put the indication here.
Okay, so white. sienna. I don't know. So I'm just going to use brown. Okay.
And these trees.
Okay. I'm going to give these trees some trunks, supposedly. Okay. I'm giving them something. Oops. I think that's all right, though. All right, it's cool. Let's see if I can just fix that back. Oh, my twigs. My twigs. Okay, highlights. I'm gonna need some more yellow for the highlights. This one was pretty dry.
Evergreens are normally darker than other trees, so leave them that way. We'll dip the brush into a small amount of a liquid white.
Kind of made it darker. This ain't lighter. It's a little lighter. Not much lighter.
There we go. Sap Green, Cadmium Yellow. One direction. Load the bristles full of color.
Okay.
Now you have to make some decisions. Where do you need to push it? Just touch and give a little push, just enough to bend the bristles a tiny bit. We're altering some of the yellow ochre. Now we can reverse the brush and drop a little bit right in there if you want to. Right in there. And here there's a darker green living. There he is. There he is. There he is.
Okay, Bob. Pause. Definitely need to get a clean area here for my yellow and green. So it looks like we're about to really get into this. I'm going to rinse my brushes out again and I'll be right back. All right, I'm gonna go into my yellow and a tad of green. Put some of those highlights in my trees. I feel like I'm just mixing the colors up though. I'm kind of scared. I'm going to move on from that because I like them and I don't want to ruin them. I'm going to go into my 1-inch brush. I think that's what he used right here.
There's a big strong bush over here.
Okay. We're going to put our bushes in. I'm going to start with the yellow. And I think he mixes with a little liquid white. I've heard him do that before because it like sticks better to the canvas or something. So I'm going to give that a go. I don't know if I'm a fan of oil paints in canvas, but you never know. This could unleash a new area in my life. I'm just not feeling that area yet, but I am open to trying new things. his looks so much more defined. I don't know. He's Bob Ross. I guess that's why.
He's my friend. There. I noticed how they keep one unit of layers. Those layers located in the too, are what create the illusion that distinguishes a person from view.
I don't have Indian yellow.
They don't have to be exact, just
But
a general shape.
so you,
Bright red. Ooh, that's a pretty one set there in the corner. And a reverse hit right into the water.
cadmium yellow.
With a clean, dry tooth brush. Just barely touch the top, just graze it. Just barely right that. And it goes across. That makes those beautiful mirror reflections. That easy. Fun kid like that. It's always fun. Oh, this is very Dyke Brown. Let's put some land under here. Shoot, talk for all these little bushes.
I'm starting to think
Wonderful.
that this is how my customers, clients feel when I do a paint party. And they're like, oh, I can't do that. And I'm like, oh, you totally can do it. And I make it look so easy. But does always turn out. It's never the same as mine. But I really wanted to be expert Bob Ross here. You know, it's kind of disappointing as a beginner starting my first painting and not being as good as Bob Ross. Waited my whole life for this. Look, I've ruined my remote, my hands, I had it on my face, my floor. I'm a mess here, guys.
Over here in the water.
Okay, so I need to take this brush, bring this down for reflection, and then go back over like that. Very nice.
You still got a while to go.
Shush. Oh, I dropped my knife. Oh, I have stuff all over it. It's serious. I have a mess going on over here. And this isn't even my art studio. It's over there in the other room. This is my husband's office. Okay, he used the brown. I should have waited to take my bath after this painting. Alright, let's rewind this a little. Okay.
Always fun.
Always fun, he says.
Let's put some land under here. Shoot, talk for all these little bushes.
Okay, we're gonna put some land right here.
Trees to stand on. Don't want to fall over here in the water, make a big splash. There we go. And let's see, one brown add a little white to it. Then come back. Just to add the indication of a few highlights here. Just here and there. It's very crazy. Just crazy. Then the little fan brush that had the greens and yellows on it.
Okay. Back to my white. Where's the white? Didn't I put white on here? Okay, I'm just gonna go into this white right here. I already have left over. Because I'm getting frugal with my paint at this point. Okay. Now,
in.
We can cut in a corner.
Okay, back to liquid white.
Which is really good for the first time, especially.
Thank you. You might have a happier aunt at the end of this because it wasn't looking good for a minute. Let's just be honest. I was assuming he was coming all the way over.
That's right. Keep these lines basically straight, even though they follow the land all the way straight. Or your water will look like it's going to run right out of the painting. There we go. Okay. Let's have some fun. We got this whole other side to do over here. Take a 2-inch brush. Go right into my dark color. A lot of paint on the bristles. Kinescope here. Maybe on this side, let's get brave. This is your bravery test today. I'll make you a little. Over here, there's a big tree.
Okay, let me see what colors he was using.
Maybe on it. They follow the.
I need a bigger palette to put my colors on because, look, it's a mess.
There we go. Okay. Let's have some fun.
Let's have some
We
fun.
got this whole other side to do over here. Take the 2-inch brush. Go right into my dark color.
Okay,
A lot of paint.
into the dark color
Kinescope here.
that I don't have a lot of.
This is your bravery test today. I like to give it over here. There's a big tree. Maybe I have to say that again. That's
Okay, here we go, guys. I'm super excited. I'm nervous. Not feeling so good about this. I need to add some more colors. Again. Brown. Draven, if all we get out of this is 2 mountain pictures, I will be happy. So don't worry.
That's
When we come to do your painting, I'm not going to be so... if I can get more out of it, great. But I'm not going to stress out about it at this point. I can always go to the store and get more.
Those are like $7 tubes of paint each.
I know, but it is what it is. Okay, I don't even know if I need that color yet. I'm just getting back into my crimson. Ooh, that was a lot. Crimson, green, blue, brown, black.
this will really catch you right there. Being so big, it just really makes it this tree is much closer to it. Maybe you'll try to move back here somewhere. It's just a but a lot of paint in the bristles. It takes a lot of paint to stick all these bristles together. See how sharp that side of it is? There. And then with that brush, maybe there's a large evergreen. Shoo, there it is now. It's right there.
Oh,
Just the corner of the brush.
a large evergreen.
Back. Like so.
I don't want to ruin my painting, guys.
Let's make a big evergreen tree.
I've seen him make this, and I don't like that evergreen. It's
Maybe
crooked.
Crooked.
Mm-mm.
There.
Do I have to? I don't want it. I don't want that evergreen. I can choose to do that. And he's okay with it because he tells you that.
Okay, let's put a tree trunk in there. For that wood is used. Dark sand and white zinc that we use on the other side. There. And since the fan brush already has all that green on it, we can use it. Another fan brush here. There you go. I'll take some Dyke Brown. Let's build an indication of just a tree trunk in here.
Okay, I can do that. Where's this? Okay, right? No, he used the fan brush. Okay, into the brown. There's the brown. Tree trunk.
Like so.
Am I even gonna really be able to see it?
Add a tree trunk or two in there. And we'll go into a liquid white.
Uh-oh. I don't know.
Some Sap Green.
I don't know,
Pull
guys.
that brush through a little lot of
I
color.
feel like I definitely
Color. Make it look more green on it. There we go.
did that too far over.
Scoop here, barely touching. We get laying in this large tree.
That doesn't look so bad.
Don't let the brush slide. Push, let the bristles bend a little.
Okay, which one did he use? Oh. Did you hear what brush he went into?
No.
Okay, 1 inch. Back into the light greens.
Paint. Okay. Scoop here, barely touching.
More yellow.
In this large tree. Don't let the brush slide. Just push, let the bristles bend a little. And just begin forming your individual shapes here. Don't just hit these at random. Think about it.
That's 2-inch brush.
Huh?
2-inch brush.
No, I think he
Says
uses 1
1
inch
inch
on this
brush.
one. Okay. I'm just gonna do what I think. This is where I tell my painters that our trees are different. My tree is not like Bob Ross's, so I can't do his exact moves on what he's gonna do on his tree. I gotta do what's best on my tree and make those calls for myself. But I can still mimic and put things where they go.
That's adding some detail.
Huh?
That's adding detail.
I wish I could keep that bright color though. Having problems with that. But it's still working. It's still, I still have dimension, right? It's looking pretty good. I'm going to add in some more yellow to give it some more highlights. Seriously, guys. Maybe if I clean it first. Oil paint is so much different than acrylic. It just really is massively different. And I like the fact that you can use water. Even though this is super amazing and cool, I do like it, but back into my yellow, if I can get to it. So I grabbed my one of my little craft brushes with some yellow because it keeps mixing and I really want that to pop and be vibrant like that. So let's see what this is gonna do. Nothing. It just made it worse. This is whatever. It's beautiful. I love it. We're just gonna stick with that. Let's see what else he does. Maybe if I added some liquid whites.
Okay, maybe over here. Add a little yellow ochre. Maybe there's a bushy lids right here. Just sort of pick them out. Now,
First of all, no offense, if you're going to spend this kind of money on a paint kit, it needs to have all the colors that you're using.
right here. This one's more in shadow, so it's darker. There we go. See, he just had it right in there. Layer after layer. There. Color on the brush. And reload the brush if necessary. And use up the pigment. Add some more. Can't tell you what. And there's a big path in there. Thinks we got Dyke Brown.
I'm still trying. I'm still trying another time. To get this yellow working out for me. Alright, I have a little bit of liquid white and some yellow, and that seemed to help it. So let's try. Yay! Well, I did something. It may not be exact or perfect, but my God, I finally did something. You like the highlights?
I'm gonna fix the top left.
Right here?
Yeah, with all the drips.
I don't want it to mix together.
That's the problem with adding liquid white.
Huh?
Adding liquid white will make it more runny.
It's because, from what I remember from one of his old videos, is it sticks better on top of the other colors that are thicker. So I'm glad I remembered that because it seemed to have helped. Maybe I should go a little further and try this some more. Are you nervous? You nervous for that, Draven?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about this. It's kind of giving it a light green color. But I'm okay with it. I mean, I'm just glad that it's lightening it up for real. Maybe a little bit of green in there. I do love some lime green. Okay. I'm happy. I wonder if there's anything I can kind of do over here to break it up a little bit. Whatever. Okay, where is he at now? Okay, so I'm going to be putting a pathway in.
Looks really.
This has been insane. Absolutely insane. Okay, pathway, palette. Wipe that off. he kind of puts it in here.
Let's come back in here. Just let this barely graze.
Okay, so he's going to draw his pathway line down this way. I don't know, guys. Okay, and then he uses white. Oh, that's brown. What do I keep doing that for? Where is my white? There's a bristle. Okay, so we're going to kind of go and create our own. It's kind of hard to get in there the right way. Okay, so hopefully that looks okay. I think it's alright, I guess. Kind of want this to go maybe down this way. Okay. Play.
Just like putting snow on the mountain. It's the same exact technique. A little more liquid weight. Back into my yellows and greens. Now then you have to start making decisions. Are these bushes?
Okay, so it looks like I need to be adding a little more bushes right here. Okay. And then go in on top of this with some of the yellow and the green. More yellow and green. And he said, just start making decisions.
Something will come right over it. There. Very good color. Drop them there. Once in a while, I'll drop that little yellow ochre, Indian yellow, little bright red. There's a sparkler right there. Beautiful little
He said bright red. I'll get into my bright red.
Look at layers. Remember that these bushes are individuals. And one at a time. There we go. I said, man, let's see these things come up over the path. I don't push the path down into your painting. The path is to build around it. Take the knife and just scrape in a few little sticks and twigs here.
Oh, I just finished my painting. Say what?
That's it?
I guess that's it, guys. Okay, now I'm going to step back and look at mine and see what could I do. It looks pretty good. I'm honestly really excited about it. I'm going to maybe add some more white right here. maybe some more definition of my trunk. I think that's helpful. And maybe off this way as well. Yeah, look at that. Bob Ross taught me to do that kind of stuff. Well, guys, I think I'm done. I'm happy with it. Draven, what do you think?
It looks fine.
It looks fine. It looks fine.
It looks fine.
It looks fine.
Just fine.
Just fine. All right, guys.
Otherwise,
Draven
I'm not
now
looking
gets
forward
to
this.
do his. And I can say, it's fine. But I'm honestly, I'm pretty impressed by this. I've worked very hard on this, so it's getting hung up somewhere. And please let me know what you think. Tell me if you think that this looks good or I failed it, or give me some tips and pointers, because honestly, I do want to continue making some of these. So I hope this was super helpful. And I will have everything you need listed below. So if you want to go to your local craft store, you can pick that up. Or you can actually, I'll put the links in as well on Amazon. So if you just want to order everything off of Amazon, that is totally up to you. I'm going to go clean up and let this dry and let Draven get started on his.